What up, Wastelanders? Christopher here, Gaslands, NorCal. Thanks for joining me once again for another conversion video. Now, I do a lot of builds, like several a week. Now, last week, I was doing a build on a 52 Chevy, much like this one, as you can see. And normally I go through the same process for breaking them down, stripping them, priming them, painting them, everything else. Sometimes with a little variation, just depending on what I want to do. Now, for the build I did last week, I think I had a little bit too much thinner in my paint for my airbrush, and so I painted on the first coat. It just didn't stick right. It was just really runny and everything else. So I kind of dabbed off the paint and repainted it with a little bit thicker, and the effect was really, really cool. So a lot of times you get those happy accidents and you try to remember, how did I do that, so you can do it again. So that's what we're going to do this week. We're going to try to do the same effect that I had last week, but intentionally this time, and see if we can get it to work. If we can't, it should be a really cool build, but first things first, we got to get this baby apart, get her into the stripper. Alright, so we're all stripped up, primed up, ready to go. Now, I normally, I like to do 2-to-1 for the thinner with the acrylic paints, depending on what color paint it is. Some of them I'll do a little bit less, some a little bit more. I wish I had a pattern for it. I wish I could remember a pattern for it. This is probably why I got to the predicament I did, even though it was kind of a happy accident. But if I remember right, I was doing the 2-to-1 with the thinner and the pale yellow, and it got too thin, and that's kind of what happened. So I'm going to try to replicate that. So I'm going to do 2-to-1 with the thinner, spray it on there. If it does the same thing, it'll be very watery. I'm going to let it dry a little bit, just so some of the paint can adhere to the model. Then I'm going to go through with the, not like a makeup sponge, but just with the foam. Because I found doing it with the foam, it'll still suck up some of the liquid and leave more of a mottled kind of texture on the paint to make it look kind of cool. So that's what I did last time. Started with a pale yellow and then went on to the golden yellow. So I'm going to try to do it again this time, same as last time, because it turned out really cool. So we'll see how I do. So here's to hoping. So obviously it didn't quite turn out like I was hoping. But the last time I did it, it was a lot more faded. You could see more of the pale yellow instead of just the bright yellow or golden yellow, or whichever one I used, golden yellow I think it was. Anyway, there are still some spots, but it's not as much as I was hoping for. Still, gonna go through with the build. 52 Chevy, awesome build. So let's continue on with this. We're gonna grunge it up now, do some ag racks and stuff, get some rust and everything going on. Probably going to make this into an MFP just because MFP is cool, so it's yellow already. So let's get some grunge on there, some ag racks, and we'll keep moving on with it. Because, yeah, it's cool casting either way, so let's do it. Alright, so we're all back together. Looking very cool. Loving how the grunge is turning out. You know, you can get all the shiny stuff all off of it and everything. I need to replace my mat. And then I got a bunch of stuff to get putting on there. I got the decals and stuff for the MFP, and then just going to put the decal on the front. Obviously not going to do the red, white, and blue. It'd be pretty difficult to do on this kind of truck anyway, but maybe sometime in the future I'll play around with that. Got the lights going to go on top. I'm probably just going to put the lights on and not put the siren portion on, because I'll have the weapon going down the middle. Got some big old exhaust pipes. I really like these pipes. Didn't know where I was going to put them, but they kind of fit perfectly right in there. So I thought, yeah, what the hell? We'll see how that looks. Some equipment toolbox things in the back. Got a ram for the front. Got the weapons and everything going on. Couldn't find another dog mini, but I do have a pig. So that's something. So I've got a little piggy going on in the back. Be hanging out. So yeah, let's get all this stuff painted up. We'll get the decals on there, start getting it back together and ready for the Wastelands. But yeah, even without the faded paint and everything, this truck's looking pretty good. So let's get some decals. Alright, decals are all on there, looking very cool. They've got the grill and the sides kind of painted up a little bit more of a grungy looking silver instead of the shiny chrome. Next, we're going to get get everything on there except for the tires, because I'm going to get everything on there, and then I'm going to start doing the rust. Going to go with the Green Stuff World medium oxide rust, then hit it with a down and dirty rust, and then finish up with some panel liner just to make it look darker, kind of like I always do. It makes it just look really realistic and really cool. So here, it's an old truck, so it should be pretty rusted and everything, especially around the wheel wells and everything else. So let's get it all together, then we'll do some rust and everything else, then we'll get the wheels on, and then this thing will get dusted up and it'll be ready for the Wasteland. So yeah, let's get everything together. Let's do that. Alright, all together now, looking very cool. Got the lights and everything on there, the headlights going on, got the ram and stuff, the weapon and everything. So next, we're going to go through and do some chipping on all the edges, on the sharp edges and stuff where you'd normally see some paint coming off. And then we're going to go through and get the rust and everything on there, all the different steps, one at a time. So it's a process, but it works out well in the end. It's definitely worth it. So let's get some chipping going on, and then we'll rust her up. Looking good. Alright, so the rust and the down and dirty and everything is all dried up, looking very, very cool. Loving how all this rust turns out. It's just outstanding. Looks very realistic and everything else. I'm going to do one more step with the rust portion of it to dry brush a little bit of the MIG rust dry brush, just a tiny bit, just to kind of get out the edges and everything, and then do some dusting and hit it one more time, probably with the panel liner, just to make the dark sides all pop out. Get the wheels on there, get the little piggy in the back, and the ammo or the supply box, ammo box, whatever the hell it is, in the back, and then we'll be good to go. So let's do a little bit more rusting, and then we'll get the rest of it together. But yeah, loving how this has turned out. Like I said, not the direction I was intending it to initially, but turned out cool nonetheless. So let's dry brush and get it all together. Alright, and there we have it. A 52 Chevy pickup, all transitioned from where it was all shiny and chrome into an older, much older MFP police truck. Didn't get quite the effect that I was looking for with the paint and everything, but made up for it with the rust and stuff. So looking very, very cool. Enjoyed doing it. Decals and stuff always turned out great. Love the little piggy in the back. I even gave him some little patches, so he's not just the regular pink, make him kind of stand out on his own. If you enjoyed this video, you learned something, do me a favor and hit that like button. My goal is to do weekly videos, whether vehicle builds, terrain builds, battle reports, whatever. So if that's for you, hit the sub button below and ring the bell to get notified when new content drops. I do sell all my builds pretty inexpensively on my Etsy page, so if you want to pick something up, see what else I've done, you can even request a custom build. If you really want to show some love, head on over to my Patreon page and get signed up. Every belt helps keep the paint flowing, the printer printing, and the camera rolling. Until next time, keep your foot on the gas and your finger on the trigger. Gaslands NorCal, signing out.